Right, students. Good evening. So, big online students, am I audible to you? Can you please? Okay. So now let's move to the further. So actually, I said today 6:10 I will start, but due to the power failure at host side, you also have seen that host is waiting to start the session. So I was there here at 6 because I have 4 o'clock class is also there. I'm here only. So coming to the point of it, students in the online, already our offline admin see that this is the all of you write down this number. All offline students take this number where you can contact this number for Google Classroom code. This is where you can join in the classroom of this Google Drive for getting the notes. For online students, online admin will share the number for you and try to take that video links of up to here, up to the new link comes, we will share the video. Later, we never share the videos. Online students, take care about that precautionary point. We don't give all the videos. First 10 days videos only will be given, not given for further. You have to attend the live classes. Okay. Now I'll be starting the most important topic. A lot of students are absent. Only 50% students. Heavy rain outside. Raining outside. Okay. So when rain comes absent, when Saturday comes absent, when birthday comes absent, Republic Day absent, Independence Day absent, all days absent. When a friend is coming absent, like that. So when you learn, students, any of students will start the discussion now. So let's start today. I'm going to start with most important topic, data representation. Up to last class, we have seen about the features of Python, and we used to keep that video links of up to yesterday. Even today, a video link also, our admins will keep it. And today we are talking about entering into the programming part. Data representation in Python. I'm going to start like this. So from here onwards, we are going to talk about the most important discussion in the classroom. Come in, Ma. So in this, what we are discussing here. So importance of data. I'm going to talk few minutes about what? Importance of data. Importance of data in application development. In application development, that is an app development. Next, we are talking about types of literals. And next, we are talking about importance of identifiers or what? Variables. And next, we are talking about rules for using identifiers or variables in Python program, which is a very, very important in Python program development. Come in, guys. So this is about today's index. So every topic when I'm writing, I'll write the index. That's a good property where you can learn topics in a systematic manner. So let's start with Vishnu Sai. We never give the recordings. I already told in the class. Again and again asking, we don't give the recordings now. Only for a few days recordings we'll give. All the days recordings, we never give it. I already told so many times so far. Right. So take care. And I already told so many times. Again asking same thing, there is no meaning of it. So coming to the point of it, these are the live classes. Online students, take care. And we will give the notes, I said. Notes we will give, so perfect notes I will give you. Notes I will give you perfect. A full-fledged notes we will give. and video links we don't give it. That's all. So let us coming to the point of importance of data in application development. So let us start understanding about data representation in Python. So what do you mean by data? That I want to go for it. Can anybody can say what do you mean by data? Data is called information. Somebody is saying. So students are saying information. What is information? Data. Data is information. Information is data. Collection of items is called data. Collection of data is called information. That's why we are lack of knowledge. So I'm going to give you what is the data here. So please follow me carefully. Don't worry about any fundamentals and don't feel because of my words. You have zero fundamentals. You don't worry about it. You don't worry. I'll make you 100% fundamentals. You will get it. And 100% you will write the coding like anything in my class. It is my guaranteed thing I'm giving. Provided 3 things you must take care. I already told you the 3 things now. Right? Now, let's start with, when I go to certain small examples, I'll go for it. Go for banking sector. Go for banking sector. What is the most important? What is the most important to in banking sector? Data is very important or not? Your account number, your customer name, your balances. These are all called very important information or not? What is an information and data? I'll give you. Don't worry about it. Don't think that data and information are one and the same. Fine. So next you take it as what? Insurance domain you take it. Insurance domain you take it. What is the most important? What is the most important? Data. You take Amazon, you take it. Amazon, you take it. What is an important? Data. You take what? Flipkart, you take it. What is an important? Data. Any field you take it. Like this, if I go on taking, you take your companies, you take your HR managers, you take your financial status. What is the total world is running around what? Data. What do you mean by data? This is what you understand. Generally, you understand. Now I'm going for what? Information. I'm saying. What is information? A flight is taking off within few minutes. A flight is landing within few minutes. That is called what? Information. The moment when the information is there, I will write what? Flight name and a landing time, and then landing time, and then I will represent some name of the flight name, and then landing time. I'm going to write it in the form of some information like this. So flight name is XYZ and a landing time is so and so time I am writing. So and so time I am writing here. So some information I am writing something like this. The information is called what? A flight is landing on so and so part. We are writing flight name and then landing time and everything I am recording. This is called a data, and the information what is given is called what? Sentence is given. Unprocessed data is called what? Information. Processed information is known as what? Data. Your academic exams are scheduled on 20th March 2023, for example. What you will write immediately? What you will write immediately? Course name. I am writing here course name, and next is called what? Date starting, date start, and then date end, time start, time end. Are you writing like this or not? In the timetable you are giving course name BTech, date start and date end. Time start 9 o'clock, ending with 12 o'clock. Is it not called some figures I am giving or not? Some facts I am writing here. These facts are known as what? These facts are known as what? Data. And only some information in the sentence format I am giving, that is known as what? Information. Last and final. Now I am writing here. Now I am writing one more thing. Mr. Arun opened an account, Mr. Arun opened an account in SBI, in SBI, in SBI with a balance of what? 5,000, for example. Immediately what I will write it? Account number will be there. Next, the customer name will be there. Balance will be there. Some address will be maintained or not. Account number is 111. Customer name is called Arun here. And balance is called 5,000 here. And address is called so and so I am writing. What is this entire thing which is highlighted called? Data. What is this line is called? Right. Did you understand? Yes. Mr. Arun is learning Python course at 6 p.m. batch. Will you figure out the information? From that information, will you prepare the data? Yes. So, KVR is a Python faculty who takes so many batches like that. What you will write? Faculty name, batch timing, and topic name. Like that, you will write it. So, from the given information, one can able to prepare what? Data. Such a type of data is of how many types? In real world, in how many ways that data is going to come in front of you. I'll make out some figures to students. Please follow me carefully. In real-time applications, go on, listen carefully, students. In real-time applications, we come across different type of values. Different type of what? Values, which is nothing but what? Data. Different types of data or different type of values are coming in front of us. In Python programming, in modern programming languages, such a type of values are called what? Literals. Please spell out literals. So data or values are called normal sentences. Such a type of values or data is called what? Literals we can call. Let me correct my spelling. Literals we can call. So how many literals are there in the Python programming generally? Python programming provides 14 literals actually. 14 literals are provided. Integer literals, float literals, bool literals, complex literals, bytes literals, byte array literals, str literals, and range literals, list literals, tuple literals, dict literals, and none type literals. I don't know whether you counted or not. I will write it. These are all called what? Int, float, and next is called a complex, and next is called a bool. These are all called data types. And next is called what? Str. Next is called bytes, and next is called what? Byte array. Next is called what? Range. Next is called list. Next is called a tuple. Next is set, and next is called a frozen set. Next is called a dig, and next is called a none. These many number of values are there in real time. In Python, these many values I'm going to tell. If you look at any of the Python classes, they will tell int and float, and things are over. Student also will be over. Nobody will ask this int and float. They will ask the questions from here only. We are discussing so detailed about all these things. Now I am going to say, in our Python programming, primarily we are having some values are coming in front of you. Just look at, my dear students, account numbers, your employee numbers, your Aadhaar card numbers, your student numbers are of which type? Basics I am talking. Without having any knowledge, you need to speak. Even a 10th class student also can understand today. Account number is the one which does not contain any decimal places. You observe it. 1111. It doesn't contain anything. 5,000 rupees. .00 I am writing it. What is this .00 is writing here? What is this now? This is called integer part, and this is called a decimal part. 7th class basics are there, you can understand. If no basics are there, we can't do anything else. This 5,000 is called what? Integer data. .00 is called what? Decimal data. And account number is the one, 1111 is there. There is no decimal places available. It is called which data? Integer data. Spell out. Integer data. All the students in online, please type it. Which data this is? Integer data. And see this now, it is containing balance 5,000.45, which is called which data? Float data. Spell out. float data. And this is called what? Collection of characters. It is called str data or string data. Spell out string data. Now I am going to say, sometimes you will be getting status. Status means your account is active. If your account is active, what will be there? True. True means actively working. Its account is active state. Sometimes account they will write false. False means what? Not doing any operations on your account. That is account status. Is it active status? True. It's non-active status. This is called what? False. True or false are called what? Boolean data. Spell out. Tell me, in your application development, enter student number. Which type of data? Integer data. Enter the name of the student. String data. Enter the marks of the student. Float data. Float data. And student is active or not. True means active. False means what? Not active. True or false is what? Boolean data. Which data? Boolean data. Now, my dear student, sometimes you will be getting date of opening also. Date of opening also. Something like opening on 16/03/2023. It is also called what? Date data, that is called. Which data? Date data. About date data, I am going to tell you so many things. Date of joining, date of retirement, date of departure, date of arrival. In reservation applications, important or not? And I'm telling lot of examples on the dates. Suppose if I have so many dates are there, sort the data based on day, sort the data based on months, sort the data based on what? Year, and find the difference between one day, 1 year date to another year date. How do you subtract the dates? How do you add the dates? How do you merge the dates? So many examples will be coming on that. Now, finally, I'm asking, when I'm dealing with the real-time applications, how many data will be coming in front of you? Integer data, float data, Boolean data, string data, date data. These are all called what in our Python language called literals. Did you understand the importance of data? Take your university. Is your university is maintaining the details about the students or not? Details about the students. Details about the students is called information or data now? Data. Only some theoretical lines is given. That is known as what? Information. Information. We start from very basic level. Now I am going to enter. Is it clear about the literals? Literals are nothing but what? Values. For my satisfaction, you tell me how many literals are there in the programming? 14. Actually 14. Primarily, how many literals are there? Integer literals, float literals, string literals, Boolean literals, and even date literals also, if you say, you can say. Did you understand my point? Very good. Shall I move forward? Yes. Careful understand. I'll show you the documentation for the entire things. Online students, up to here, am I clear, guys? Can I move forward? Can I move forward? Very good. Let's move to the further discussion. Let us move to the further discussion now. So, I'll take one small example here. One small diagram, I will go for it. One small diagram. Be careful, students. All of you carefully listen. At the end of the class, we will see how we will become perfection in the coding part. Let's see. Carefully observe it. Now I'm going to say here something like this. Watch it. Now I'm writing one small diagrammatic representation because to enter into the subject so clearly. Now I'm taking here. This is my Python program I am writing. This is my Python program I am writing. Okay. So whether it is a Python program or C program or Java program or whatever it is, for the Python program is concerned, when you go to the ATM center or any type of application development, you are supposed to give some type of inputs or not? When you are signing up as a new user, are you supposed to give some inputs or not? When you go to ATM center, are you going to enter your PIN number, balances, how much you want to withdraw and all those things, right or not? So any real-time application when you are dealing with, giving inputs are mandatory. Any language you take it, giving inputs are called mandatory. I'm just mentioning here, what are my inputs I'm giving? What are the possible inputs I'm giving? You tell me now. I am giving which type of inputs more, which data I can give, integer data I can give, which type of data I can give, float data I can give, which type of data, string data. Next is called what? Bool data. And next is called what? Date related data. These are the primary information I'm giving. Later, when I come to the deep of the subject, we'll go to the one by one. So this is an input to be given or not? Well, after this, so as a part of this information, inputs are given. Today, I'm entering some sort of input. What is the input I'm giving? 10. That is called 10 I am giving. And the next is I am giving row sum, RS I am giving, name of the employee, and whose annual salary I am giving 36.0, and whose status I am giving called true. What is that first 10 is called? Employee number, integer data. RS is called what? String data. Next 36.00 is called what? Float. True is called what? Very good. Is it data or information? Data. So computer stores what? Data or information? Data only. And that information you have to convert it into what? Data. Okay. The moment when you store your data as an input, if you give it, do you know this type of input, my dear students, this type of input stored in where main memory of the computer. Today's class is very, very important because I am setting the ground for you to enter into the coding. You are supposed to store this type of input in where? Into the main memory of the computer. There are two memories are there in the computer. One is called main memory. One more is called secondary memory. What is main memory? Here I will write it. Let me give you the main memory. Carefully listen. No need to have any basics of your computer science. I am only starting from 0 level to a professional level. I will bring it. Whose hardware component is called RAM. What is RAM? Full form చెప్తే ఏం రాదు అసలు మీకు. If you say full form, they are scrap. Don't tell full forms anywhere. It's a good property. So main memory where the data gets stored. It is like your brain. It is like your brain. Is your brain will remember everything quickly? Will it remember everything? Some of them are thinking what he is asking. Girls, will you remember everything? Yes, some girls are saying yes. Will you remember your BTech 4th year notes? No, sir. So your brain is nothing but main memory of the computer, which is a temporary memory, core memory, user memory. Anything to process about your application, that data must be stored in the main memory. In order to store my input in the main memory, you must allocate the memory space for it. You must allocate the memory space for it. I am allocating the memory space for what? Number. I am allocating the memory space for name. I am allocating the memory space for annual salary. I am allocating the memory space about its active state. So to allocate the memory space in the computer main memory, to allocate the memory space in computer main memory, I am writing one beautiful point, students. To allocate memory space for storing inputs. For storing what? Inputs. We use data types. What we use? Data types. We use data types to store the inputs, to allocate the memory space, for the inputs, to allocate the memory space for storing inputs. We use data types. Without allocating memory space, we cannot store our inputs. So what is the use of data types? Even in my previous classes, I addressed it. To allocate the memory space. For which purpose? To store my inputs. Did you remember it? Good, students. Now I am going to store inside of it. What is the value getting stored? 10. What is the name stored there? RS. And next value stored there is 36.00. 36.00. Next I am going to store it here called what? True. I am writing true. My dear student, be careful now. Who is entering the inputs? Who is entering the inputs? End user will enter the inputs. Am I correct or not? End user will enter the input. I am talking just generally in the form of what? How to make you to get it into the subject. If you follow my things carefully, you will be understanding like anything. What is this now I am saying? Every end user will enter the inputs. That inputs are stored in where? Main memory. Whether it is C language, C++, Java, .NET or whatever it is. Storing in where? Main memory. To store this data inside the main memory, what must be allocated? Memory space must be allocated. To allocate the memory space, what we need? So data types are used for what purpose? Allocating the memory space and inputs gets stored. So last and finally, you answer my question. To store my inputs in main memory, what must be created? Memory space. Who will create the memory space? Data types. Conclusion. Every input of the program must be stored in which memory? Main memory. To store the inputs in main memory, what must be allocated? Memory space. Who will allocate the memory space? Good. In C language, data types you know. In C++, you know data types. In Java, you know data types. In Python, we are having 14 data types are there. Nobody will explain 14 data types. They will explain 1 or 2 data types. You just visit any website, any online classes, you view it, only 2 data types. When you go to real time, you will be getting 14 data types. They will morely focusing on this type of things, which I just now said to you. They will mainly focusing on what? Just now I written, it is gone, I hope so. They're mainly focusing on this kind of things only. Int and float, even a small kid can say, and from here onwards, they will show HD cinema for us. So here we are supposed to learn. I will explain so perfectly that will start immediately in tomorrow class itself. That's called data types in Python will start. So for my satisfaction, once again, I am asking, please answer my question once again. Every input entered by whom? End user, which is stored in where? To store the inputs in main memory, what is required? Memory space. Who will allocate the memory space? Very good. Data types. So data types are used to allocate the memory space and our inputs gets stored in the main memory. Right? Good. Online students, very nicely giving responses. Super. Keep it up. Now I am going to enter. I'll come back once again to this place. I will come back once again to this place. I will come back. One more diagram I am going to take it to make you to enter into the little ahead of the subject. Now, I am asking one more question here. Be careful. Be alert in today class. I am writing a program now. What is the program I am writing? Sum.py. Sum.py. What is .py? Extension to the Python programs. Any program you have written, that program contains what? Source code. Already you forget, right? Contains what? Source code. Such is source code. When you write it, that when you are executing that, end user will give some sort of input or not? End user will give some sort of input. So I am going to write it here. What is that inputs which I am giving here? You already habituated. Now I am giving the value called what? 10 and what? 20. What is my program application aim? My application aim is what? To find the sum of these two numbers. Online students, be careful guys. Stay in the online for a long time. Today, to understand this most perfectly, you must stay for a long time, because I am giving a most powerful explanation in today class. End user is entering two values to find out sum of two numbers. So this input is stored in where? This input is stored in where? Main memory of the computer. Already explained. Please be active. This is stored in where? Main memory. Main memory of the computer. So I'm writing here main memory. This is nothing but a component called what? RAM. I'll come to secondary memory also few minutes. What is happening here? I want to allocate the memory space for 10. I want to allocate the memory space for 20. I will allocate the memory space for result also. Correct, students? Right. Memory space will be allocated by the concept of what? Forget. Memory space is allocated. Memory space allocated by what? Good. Allocated by what? Data types. Memory space is allocated by data types so that inputs are storing. Careful, students. 10 is stored here, 20 is stored there. Be careful. Now I am coming to one extra point here. One extra point I am going to get it. So inputs are stored in main memory. Inputs are storing in main memory. After storing these inputs, what we are going to do? You wait. Now I need to storing is okay. This is first job is done. First job is run. Roman number 1. Next job is what? I need to process my input, right or not? I need to process my input. I need to process. Previously also, I need to process. Process means what? What do you mean by process? Get the value from this memory space, get the value from this memory space, get the value from this memory space, add them and keep the result in where? In this memory space. What do you mean by processing the input? Get the value from the first memory space, get the value from the second memory space, and keep the result into third memory space. Did you understand this point? Right. When you go to a general example, when you go to a sweet shop, lot of sweets are displayed. What do you want to say? You want to buy one sweet. What do you will say immediately? Lot of sweets are placed over there. You want to buy one sweet. What you will say? Will you show the hand or will you say the name of it? Name. Name. That means anything which is displayed, anything which is stored in the sweet shop, you are telling the name of that sweet. Because on the top of it, some name is also written, right or not? That means in general terminology, in universe, anything to process or access, there is some name is given. There is some label is given. Such labels in Python are called identifiers. Such labels in Python are called what? Identifiers. In simple word, every student who is sitting in my class is having the name or not? Every student is having some name. Every student is having some name. You see, online students are having names. Offline students are having names. Why our parents has given the names? For identification purpose, for calling purpose, for accessing purpose, for certain type of identification purpose. Am I correct or not? Suppose your friend is standing some long time, far away, and you are here. You want to call that person. There is 100 meters length is there. How do you call that person? With the name you will call. Assume that their parents did not keep the name. How you need to go? It's difficult to access that person or not. Similarly, dear students, how do you receive? I don't know. The moment when values are storing in main memory, memory space will be allocated by help of what? Data types. Whatever the memory space is allocated, the memory spaces are identified. The memory spaces are qualified with. The memory spaces are qualified with. Qualified are given by what? Distinct names. Distinct names. Distinct names. Please understand the word distinct names. Each memory space is qualified with some distinct names. Sir, why you are giving some distinct names? In order to identify the value present in the space. What is the distinct names you are giving? A, and I am giving next B. I am coming to the rules of it, and I am giving you what? C. What is this? A, B, C are called distinct names. These distinct names makes us to identify. These distinct names makes us to identify the values. Identify the values stored in where? Stored in where? Memory space. Stored in where? Memory space. Are you able to get me, students? These distinct names makes us to identify the values, stored in where? memory space. So how you can identify now? I say C is equal to what I am writing? A. Whenever I write A and the value will be retrieved from the space, 10 is retrieved and substituted here. B, when I write it, it will go to B and then retrieve the value and then added and keeping the result in where? Into the memory space, which is pointed by what? C. Not in C. Don't learn like our old story. It is storing into the memory space pointed by C. Are you getting or not? So coming to the point of it, what is the meaning of this A? Whenever I write, PVM will go to the memory space which is pointed by A, retrieve the value. When I write B, PVM will go to the memory space where it is pointed by B, retrieve the value, and then both of them will be added and whose result will be stored in where? C. What is the value of C now? What is the value of C now? 30. 30. Once the class is over, you are going to the home. Which home you are going? You are going to the home where your relatives or your parent names are pointing to that house. Will you go to other homes? No. That means I am going to give a clarity here. Whenever my inputs are getting stored in the main memory of the computer, all the values are stored in the memory by allocating the memory space by using what? Still it is not enough. Whatever the memory space is created, which are qualified or given by what? Distinct names. These distinct names makes us to identify what? Values present in where? And hence, be careful students. Distinct names are called what? Identifiers. Come on, what is the name I am writing here? Some special line I will write. Identifiers I am writing. So directly I can say identifier, but I want to keep one student in the mind who don't know anything. Those students has to understand my coding. From all the people I want to bring into the single line. Did you understand my words? What do you mean by identifiers, ma? Identifiers are nothing but distinct names. They are given to the memory space. Now tell me one small word I want to say. Distinct names pointing to the memory space, or memory space is pointing to the distinct name. Distinct name is pointing to the memory space. Simple student, you purchased one house in Hyderabad and you are registered on your name. Your name is pointing to the house, or a house is pointing to you. Name is pointing to the house. You are selling it out in this house to somebody else after 2 years. So are you pointing there? House remains same only. House spaces remain same only. Some other name is pointing to that space. It is nothing but what? Space is not pointing to the name. Name is pointing to the memory space. Because clarity is required. When I store my data, you have to understand that data is available in main memory in the form of which names? Distinct names. Up to here, okay now? Is it understandable? What did you understand? Every input stored in where? Main memory. By allocating memory space with the help of what? Who will allocate the memory space for my inputs? Data types. Data types stored in where? Main memory. Is it enough? No. What is required? That memory space must be given some name or not. Those names are known as what? Identify. Distinct names. Distinct names makes me to identify the values stored in the memory space or not. Those distinct names are called what? Good. Good. Shall I move forward? Yes. Please follow me. There is no hurry at all. So take care. Now I am going to enter into the further. Now, dear students, identifier values you see. Immediately I am writing A is equal to 100 I am writing. Next B is equal to 200 I am writing. C is equal to A plus B I am writing. The moment when I write 100, it will go to the place called A. The value 10 is there, which is replaced with what? 100. The value B is there. It will go to the B, which is going to contain value called 20. It is made as 200. AC is equal to A plus B, which is made as what? 300. These identifier values are fixed or varying? Varying from one point of time to another point of time. And hence, identifiers are also called variables. Spell out. So here I am writing, here identifier values are varying, varying. They are varying during the program execution, during the program execution, and hence I'm going to write it, and hence, come on, and hence identifiers are called what? Yes, identifiers are called what? Variables. So finally, I would like to ask you one small question, students. What is my conclusion here? Only one simple conclusion. All sorts of inputs are stored in main memory in the form of what? In the form of what? Identifier. Identifiers are known as what? Hence, you tell me, all inputs are stored in the form of what? Variables. That is what I want to give it. Hence, one box point I am writing. All types of inputs in all programming languages, are stored in the form of, stored in which memory? Main memory, by in the form of what? In the form of what? Variables. Will you understand the meaning here? All types of inputs stored in main memory, and in the form of what? Variables. If this is clear for you, I will move to further. Is it clear or not? Yes. If these points are clear, I will be giving one simple documentation for you. If this is clear, I am going to enter into further. This is what is the highlighting point I want to take it. Online students, did you understand up to here? From now onwards, you need to take it. Every input stored in where? Quickly, every input stored in where? In the form of what? Variables. To create the memory space, what is required? Data types. So data types will do what? Memory space creation. Memory space pointed by what? Variables. Value stored in where? Memory space pointed by what? Variables. Confused? All value without, I have to get confidence, then only I will move forward. By having only listening in your engineering, what is happening, I know. In my class, I already taken a challenge task. A layman want to write the Python coding in my class. I have to do it. Otherwise, there is no meaning of it. Let him wake up. Listen, student. Sleeping like a simple pendulum. Moving like that. Sleeping now? Continuously sleeping. I understand. I am seeing from long time onwards. 6 o'clock sleeping means it's very dangerous. You know, no problem. Don't sleep it. You came to the class now. Listen to the class. Sleeping is very good to the health, but class subject is very important to the career also. Start. All inputs stored in where? Main memory. To store inputs, what must be created? Memory space. Who will create the memory space? Data types. Good. Is only memory space enough? Value storing is enough? No. So you need to give memory space for name to the memory spaces or not? They are known as what? Distinct names. They allows us to identify the values or not? They are known as what? Identifiers. Identifier values are fixed or changing? Changing or varying or modifying. They are all called what? Variables. So shortcut process, all inputs of all the programming languages stored in main memory in the form of what? Variables. That's all. Tell me, what is the definition of variable? Definition of variable, a beautiful word. This is what you have to catch from my class. Tell me, see how I will make you to prepare. Don't buttify. See how I will make you to prepare. What is the variable? What is the variable? I will take it just for a minute. You see, what is the variable? Come on. Every variable is called one type of identifier, means people can recognize, and whose values are varying during what execution? That type of things are known as what? Come on. What is a variable? A variable is an identifier. whose values are changing during the program execution. During the program execution. Is it clear? Good. Now, a small documentation work I will show you. Please look into that carefully, students. I'll go for data representation. One small point I want to enter into that. A small point I want to enter. See that carefully here. Now, please read out all the things. What is literal and types of literals? Notes purpose I am explaining. Whatever is explained, I am briefing and giving. Literals are nothing but input values passing as input to the program. In other words, all values passing to the program as an input are called literals. It is also called data. Understand? Right. In Python programming, primarily we have 5 types of literals. Number 1, integer literals, float point literals, string literals, boolean literals, and collection literals. Don't worry, I named it. Date, list, tuple, set, frozen set, dict, other kind of things are all comes under what? Collections literal. Spell out more once. Collections literal. So without seeing how many types of literals are there? 5. Number 1, integer literals, float literals, string literals, boolean literals, collections literals. Don't forget that. More about that I'm going to explain in the class. Actually, there are 14 literals are there. I primarily mentioned here like this. Did you understand? Right. Clear about that. Now I am talking about this type of point. Please understand this importance, student. For a minute, you see that importance of variables. I am going to take it. See, students, now I am writing. For a moment, you observe it. Importance of identifiers or variables in Python programming. Come on, students, all of you read out slowly. We know that all types of literals are stored in main memory by having memory space. To process values which are present in main memory space, programmers must give distinct names to the created memory space. These distinct names makes us to identify the values present in main memory space, and hence they are called identifiers. Good. Identifier values are changing or varying during program execution, and hence identifiers are also called variables. Easy? Right. Hence, all types of literals stored in the form of what? Variables. And variables are called objects. In Python, all variables are called what? Objects. Behind object, who is there? You're already having some fixation in your brain. Class first or object first? Class. Class is a physical memory. Is there virtual? Where are you storing the data? Object. That objects are called variables today. Getting? My dear students, here I am writing one small point. I am writing, which I already wrote it for your understanding purpose. Once again, I am writing definition of what? Variable. Definition of variable. For my satisfaction, all of you should say, come on, mom. A variable is an identifier. Is an identifier whose values are changing during program execution. During what? Program execution is called what? Definition of variable. Okay, good. So nothing but what? Next I will go for it. Srujana, all literals are nothing but data types. No more. Literals are nothing but what? Data. Data types different, literals are different. Data types are used for creating the memory space. In that memory space, values will be stored. Values are called literals. Data types are memory space allocators. Values are different, memory space allocators are different. You are a value sitting in the chair. Yourself and chair is same, huh? No. Chair allocators are called what? Data type. And you are called the value sitting in the chair. Understand, Mas Rujana? So I hope that you understand the point. Now I am going to enter a biggest discussion up to here. What is the next point I am saying? What will be the rules and regulations to take the variables in the Python programming? Whatever the variables you like it, you cannot take it. So there are some rules and regulations are available. Now I am going to discuss about a most important practical scenario I am introducing. Rules for using variables. Rules for using variables are identifiers in which programming? Python programming I am going to take it. Rules for using variables are identifiers in which programming? Python programming. Very, very important. What we understand so far is the concept. Now I am going to enter into rules. How to take the rules, how to use these rules and all. I'm going to tell you some number of rules. So I'm going to see to use variables in Python programming. Python programmer must follow. After going to home, after uploading these notes, you have to write the notes something like what I'm writing it. I can just give you existing notes, but I don't want to give. If I type it, you will feel that we are getting something. After going to home, if you take a printout and if you add in your file, nothing will come. You write the notes, maintain a copy of it. So Python programmer must use the following rules. Right? What are those rules? Now I am going to say rules one by one in the class. So whatever the variables you like it, you cannot take it, student. Now I am taking rule number 1. Shall we start up? Rule number 1 I am going to take up. See now, rule number 1. Suppose you take it. Suppose there is one person is there. You want to give some name to that person. Your elders or your parents will find out through some persons. This kid name must starts with which letter according to the birth time and all those things. Some name will be found or not. Must find with S, must find with A, some find with M, like that. Is it a rules and regulations they are following or not? They are not keeping whatever the name they like it. Are they keeping the name as 1, 2, 3? Are they keeping the name as $1, 2, 3? Are they keeping the name $1, 2, 3 $? No. These are all called valid names or invalid names? Invalid names. So that means we are supposed to go for Python programming also something like that. Rule number 1 I am writing. What is the rule number 1? The variable name, first thing, see students, I am showing the practical programming also now. The variable name is a combination of what combination is permitted? I am saying is a combination of alphabets, comma, digits, and what? Special symbol underscore only, not other kind of special symbols, my dear students. I'll write here special symbol underscore only. Not $, all those things not possible. And next rule you can understand only because of the first rule we are not taking immediately example. Now I am going to take it. Rule number 2. There I will show you certain examples. Rule number 2. If I write rule number 2 now, you'll get more meaning for that. Like that rule number 3, like that rule number 4 will be there. So it is a combination of how many variables, how many names, alphabets, digits, special symbol, underscore only. $, allowed? Hyphen allowed? Spell out? No. Can I use slash? Can I use plus? No. What are the things allowed in the variable name? Alphabets, digits, and a special symbol. Now, in the combination of the variable, which letter is the first letter? That is also matters a lot. I am writing the first letter of the variable. The first letter of the variable must starts either with alphabet either with alphabet or what? Underscore, underscore, underscore. That's all. But not with what? Digit. Starts with only either alphabet or with what? Underscore. That's all. We cannot start with what? Other kind of digits. Now I am going to start with the examples. Rule number 2 examples will come. Because in MCQs and all those things, if you go, this type of questions will come. Which of the following things are valid? Which of the following things are invalid? Like that they will ask. Tell me now. To test this variable rules, I'll go for the Python environment. Do you know how to download the Python software? What is the website, official website? www.python.org. You know that, no? www.python.org. You know how to download it. You know how to install it. All these things you know now. Very good. After installing the Python software, you will be coming in your things, all apps, and you go for P letter is then Python. You take that thing and you are getting Python. 3.11, 3.10 will be there. It is your choice. Anything you can use, not an issue. What will be the specialities of Python 3.11? One or two features are there. I will tell you that. Right now, I'll go to the Python 3.10. Don't worry about it. Now I'm saying like this. Follow me. What is this? Once again, I will go for it. All apps. I'm going to all apps and see students here Python. I'm going to say Python 3.10. There are the two things are there, students. One is this black icon is there. You select that. First few days, I will deal with what? This command prompt we can call. Spell out Python command prompt. Spell out, ma. There is one more is also there, student. This is called Python ideally we can call. What is this? Python ideally. So ideally, I will tell you after a few days in the sense not months together. After 10 days, I will come. First, before 10 days, I'll show you the preliminary programming in where Python command prompt. That is something like your play group of your education. Go to the place. Now I'm going to say all apps and then say Python here. And I will say Python 3.10, Python 3.10 command prompt. Click on it. This is called what? Python command prompt. Spell out. Right. Now, I want to store my data. Data is nothing but what? Literal. Every literal value stored in where? Main memory. In the form of what? Variables. Already cheppan. Back to pavilion means it is like a dog tail like this. Once if I say how to remember that. What is that I said? See that highlighting point. What did you understand? Forgetting daily like your college. All types of inputs in all programming language stored in the memory in the form of what? Variables. I forget to write in the form of what? Variables. See my final documentation. All sorts of things must be stored in the memory in the form of what I said? Variables. Here. Hence, all types of literals are stored in the form of variables. All variables are called what? Objects. Did you understand? So come on to the point of it. To store the data, what is required? Memory space will come automatically. Why? Python is what? Dynamically typed programming language. Who will allocate the memory space for your inputs? Data types. Are you specifying the data type in Python? No. Who is specifying the data type? Python environment. I already told in the class. Where I told? You already forget that. Don't do like that. Go to 6 p.m. and features of Python. There is a dynamically typed programming language. Dynamically typed. Where it is? Here it is available dynamically typed. Just open it and I am saying Python programming you come dynamically typed. Once if I explain, you have to remember students. In dynamically typed programming languages, depends on type of value we are assigning, whose data type automatically or implicitly assigned by Python execution environment. There is no need to write variable declaration in dynamically typed languages. It is mandatory to write in which languages? Is it explained or not? Once if I explain, you have to study and you have to come to the class. If you don't study and if you come to the class like our BTech, like our degree, like our MCA, nothing will come. Beginning only I am saying. That's why 3 conditions I put in the beginning only. To get some job holder, you need to prepare very well. Without preparation, if you come like your olden days, 1947 principles, if you apply, you cannot get it. Seriously, I'm saying it. Try to achieve something in your life. Right. Come to the point back. Now I'm going to say. So tell me, Python is which language? Dynamically typed. Is it necessary to specify the data type? Who will specify the data type? Python environment. So tell me, only you need to select the value and you need to put it in the form of variable. Who will allocate the memory space? Is it necessary to write the data type? Who will assign the data type? Python environment. Come on, store. A is equal to what? 10. Tell me. A is equal to what is 10? What is 10? Literal. ఏం లేదు అసలు ఇక్కడ ఏం లేదు అసలు empty. If we just knock like that, big sound is coming. What is 10? Which literal? Integer literal. Spell out. Already explained. What is 10? What is A? Object. Variable. What is happening internally? What is happening internally? So, A. What is the value? 10. What is A? Very good. Object. Nothing but what? What is 10? Literal. Literal. Nothing but what? Data. Nothing but what? Values. Good pet ko sir mero. So now I want to go for assigning. Print it. Now see carefully. A. Is it valid or invalid? Valid. Now to print the data, to see the data on the console window, we are using in C programming printf. Printf like this. It is called what? A function. Spell out. Function. What is a function? A function is a unit which contains some instructions inside which will perform certain activity, perform certain operation. Is called what? Function. In your mobile, anything you just touch it, some piece of code is executed internally, which is called a function. In English, are you asking now? You are asking your friend, your brain is working or not? And is it functioning or not? Functioning means what? Performing operation. What is a function? A function is the smallest unit of our project which will perform certain operation. ATM project, you take it. Withdraw, deposit, balance inquiry, funds transfer, pin change, pin generate. They are all called what? Subprograms, functions in main project called what? ATM. Functions are very important in our real-time applications. You take it, you are a human being, you are a main project. In that ears, eyes, nose, hands will do different operations or not. All your different organs in your body are called what? Functions. And a human being is called what? Main project. A project is a collection of what? Functions. In the functions, we'll write a piece of code. Such a piece of code will execute whenever you select it. Did you understand? Got it or not? When you go to HDFC ATM center, different options are given or not? Each option is called what? Function. Are you feeling? Getting that subject? Come to the point. In C language, to display my output, I will use what? Printf. In C++, I will use what? Cout. In cout. If we go to Java programming, I will use what? System.out.println. They will buttify only this thing. They don't know what is the meaning of this. Coming to what, you know? Python, if you come, we will use what? Print off. Spell out. Print off. What is the use of print off? To display the result on the monitor. Print off statement will contain 6 syntaxes. Print off will contain 6 syntaxes. I will explain separately after 4-5 days. If I explain now, tomorrow you will not come to the class. Slowly. Before giving a big injection, some spirit must be put with cotton. Then pain will not be there. Beginning only big dose is given means next day it will be a painful. So see, when I go to this today morning only, your just seniors to you, I said display the data. I will just open it. Mind blowing. Mind blowing. Print function, syntax number 1, syntax number 2, syntax number 3, syntax number 4, syntax number 5, syntax number 6, syntax number 6, and special points about print. Special points about print. And almost 223 lines are there about a simple concept called print. A normal person, print is used to display the data over. And you will say like that only when you go to interview. You will say, okay, go. If you explain these many syntaxes, you'll say, yes, he's a person of programmer. Programmer require what? Not theory knowledge. Require what? Skills of coding. That skills of coding I will explain so perfectly for you, provided if you concentrate. Sleeping in the class will not give you coding. Danger. Come to the point. First letter of the variable must starts with what? Either with an alphabet or with what? Underscore. Now go to the place. Now I am going to use it. A is equal to 10, valid or invalid? I say print of what? A. Because it is an alphabet or not? Next. Sal is equal to 4.5, valid or invalid? Good. Print of what? Sal, valid. Be careful. 1, 2, 3, Sal is equal to 45. Online students, everybody, come on. Invalid or valid? Invalid. Why invalid? Because it is starting with what? Digit. See, read out. What is that? Syntax error. In Python programming, lot of errors will come. You have to remember the names of the errors. Saying error, 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 that is called error. Error names you need to tell if you are talented. Otherwise, saying for everything error, 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 you will say he is an error only. You need to tell what is the name of the error. In my class, I'll tell you some hundreds of error names I will tell you. Because when you go to an interview, they will conduct MCQ test. In the MCQs test, they won't give you list and describe features of Python. 20 marks question they won't give you. And you'll buy one new pen and write additionals, additionals, additionals. They will ask you what? 3 lines of code they will give you. 3, 4 lines of code they will give you. They will ask you the options. A, B, C, D they will give you. This is the NASCAM test. This is a NASCAM test. Hacker ranking test. And this is any company is conducting the written test. They will ask you the code they will give you. They will ask you options and you need to select the output. To understand this code, lot of skills are required. Only listening the class, sleeping, and next day you coming to the class by taking the book, nothing will come. You have to read. When I am explaining 1 hour 40 minutes, at least you have to read 1 hour, 2 hours you need to read in the home. That is the way. When my programming starts very soon, you have to start programming 2 hours, you have to read for 1.5 hours. Totally 3.5 hours you have to read daily. Otherwise, we will be an Amirpet only, will become senior citizen. Do you know that? Yes. Come to the point of it. Is it valid or invalid? Go. Straightforward. Answer my questions. Sal is equal to 3, 4. Valid or invalid? Quickly. Next, I am writing something like 1, 2, 3. Sal is equal to 56. Come on. Invalid. Dollar Sal is equal to 45. Yes. Here I will write dollar Sal is equal to 56. Invalid. What is an answer? Syntax error. Next, 1 Sal is equal to 45. Sal 1 is equal to 34. Good. Very good. Print of what? Sal 1. Valid or not? Good. Now, let me increase my question stuff. 34. Valid or not? Valid. What about the above one? Invalid. Okay. Invalid. Now, one serious question. Now, underscore Sal is equal to 56. Are you sure? Why it is valid? Underscore also allowed. Beautiful. Print of what? Underscore Sal is called what? 56. Good. Now, let me increase my question. Underscore A is equal to 45. Don't say like that. If you say like that, it will say like that. problem will come. Valid or invalid? Valid. So underscore A is equal to what? 45. Next, I will write it. Underscore sal underscore is equal to 56. Sure. Good. Print of what? Underscore sal underscore is equal to 56. Beautiful. Now you got an answer. Last question I will ask you. Underscore sal is equal to 45 is called what? Valid. Underscore A is equal to 56. Also what? Valid. Last question. Underscore is equal to 56. Valid or invalid? Valid. Don't sit quiet and come. You have to speak in my class. Valid? Good. Already rule is there or not? What is the value printed? 56. Can I ask one question? Okay. Underscore is equal to 56. Very good. Very good. Now you got complete command over the rule number 2. So here underscore is equal to 56 is also called what? Valid. Is rule number 2 clear? Variable name is a combination of alphabets, digits, and special symbol. Dear students, in the combination, which is the first combination? First thing should come. And next is what? Underscore. Clear? Yes. Rule number 3 I am going for. Rule number 3 when I am going, I will carry the rule number 2 also. What is the rule number 3 say, students? Rule number 3 says, students, within the variable name, no special symbols are allowed except underscore. Within the variable name, no special symbols are not allowed. Special symbols are not allowed. Not allowed except what? Underscore. Except what? Underscore. So except underscore, no special symbols are allowed. Examples I am going, valid and invalid examples I am writing. How easy that is. Now I am writing EMP space sal is equal to 56. Quickly. Why invalid, students? Space. Go to that. You see, students, EMP space sal is equal to 45. Error. Why error? Space. Invalid. Good. So invalid. Next time writing EMP dollar sal is equal to 56. Good. Why it is invalid? Dollar. EMP dollar sal is equal to 56. Invalid. How you need to practice after going to home? By taking this topic, you have to read that and open the laptop, go to Python command prompt, whatever the rules you have learned, you need to type it. Because these are the building blocks for writing what? Programs. Getting my point? One more. EMP hyphen sal is equal to 56. Quickly. Why invalid? Hyphen is not allowed. What is allowed? Also error. See, students, also error. Now I am writing EMP hyphen sal is equal to what? 45 is called what? Invalid. Okay. Now I am going to say EMP underscore sal is equal to 56. Very nice. Print of what? EMP underscore sal, output is coming. So here I will write it EMP underscore sal is equal to 56 is called what? Valid. Good. Take care. EMP underscore sal underscore dollar underscore IBM is equal to 67. Why invalid? Dollar is there. So invalid, syntax error. Wherever that invalid symbol is there, that marking is going on there. That marking indicates that there is an error. Did you follow, students? Yes. Now I am writing EMP underscore sal underscore IBM is equal to 67. Valid. As print of EMP underscore sal underscore IBM is equal to data is coming. So I will write it here. EMP underscore sal dollar IBM is equal to 67. Invalid. EMP underscore sal underscore IBM is equal to 67 is valid. Easy or difficult? Easy or difficult? Is it necessary to buttify? Don't buttify. If you start buttifying, brain is not enough. Right? Variable name is a combination of what? Alphabets, digits, special symbol, underscore. First letter of the variable must starts with what? Alphabet or what? Underscore. Within the variable name, special symbols are not allowed except underscore. Clear? Very nice. Coming to the rule number. Online students, are you getting now? Are you understanding, students? Please confirm it. Type say yes following. Good. So going like a Vande Bharat Express responses. Good. Like that you need to give. See, yesterday what you understand, today what you understand, there is progress in your talent. Compare daily. Compare daily. Right. Compare your reading power also. Yesterday what you read, today what you read, you compare. Then you will come to know. Sorry is on his words. Now you are not on your word, not reading and coming to the class. Correct. You will feel today I understand very well. I will eat and sleep. Tomorrow morning you will forget half of the things. Afternoon you will forget 75%. And even before coming to the class, if you revise what my sir taught, nothing is there in the brain. That's why immediately going to the home, you have to revise your subject. Then only will become a Pythonist. Otherwise, difficult. Okay, now let's start. Rule number 4. Rule number 4, I am going to start. See, students, we should not use, one more rule I am using. We should not use keywords as variable names, because I'll write the reason. Because we keywords are reserved words. What is that? Reserved words. Keywords are the reserved words, and they contain, I'm writing there, and they contain, I will write, they contain some special meaning, special meaning to the compilers, to the language compilers, they are having some meaning. Are you following me? So they are having some type of meaning for that. There is some meaning is there for that reserved words. We should not use keywords as what? Variable names, because all the keywords are having some special meaning to the language compilers. Let me go to that. Don't worry about that. Suppose you see, I'll write a small line here. Of course, don't worry about at this time. KW list, KWD list or something is there. So KW list or something. Okay, leave that part. In the coding, I will show you that. At present, I don't want to experiment on you. Coming to the point, if is equal to if. Actually, if is called what? One type of keyword. I am trying to write 34. Actually, it starts with an alphabet only. But if is called what? One keyword. Already having some meaning. You should not take like that. It is also called what error? Because if is having some meaning in Python, you cannot suppress that meaning. Did you understand? Else is equal to what? Some 56. Also error. Because else is also called what? One keyword. For is equal to some 56 is also an error. If 1 is equal to what? 45. It is valid. I am not taking same name. I am taking that and I am adding 1 in the last. It is valid. Are you following? So you print it. Print of what? If 1, answer is what? 45. Will you understand, students? Underscore else is equal to what? 56. No problem. Print of what? Underscore else is called what? Valid. Are you getting, guys? So go to the point of it. Now I am writing examples. Examples I am going to write it. Examples I am going to write it. What are the examples here? You try to follow me. Come on now. If is equal to 56. What is this? Yes. Else is equal to some 67. Invalid. And the next for is equal to some 56. Why these are invalid? If, else, for are called what? Keywords. Getting my point? Yes. Next I am going to write it. IF1 is equal to 56. Valid. Underscore else is equal to 56. valid. Now, and the next for underscore for is equal to 67, valid. This is called rule number 4. Clarity is there? Right. Next, I am going to take it rule number 5. Of course, rule number 5 is a precautionary point for you. It's not a big deal. You can understand. In Python programming, all the variable names are case sensitive. I'll write it and I'll go for it. All the variable names are what? Case sensitive. Case sensitive means what? Capital A is different from small a. Capital Z is different from small z. That is known as what? Case sensitive. Go back to the program and then check it out. AGE is equal to 45. AGE is equal to something like 99. AGE is equal to 97. Small AGE is equal to 96. All of them are having same sound only, but what is different? Case is different. Uppercase and then lowercase and then one capital A, one small a, like that. You print it what? AGE, comma, AGE, AGE, and next is called AGE. All of them are printing different or not? Sir, how can you prove that it is having some different things internally? I will explain, students, right now. Don't worry. Don't ask me the doubt also. ORD of capital A is 65. ORD of small a is called 97. Is having a lot of difference internally or not? Don't worry about ORD. I will explain in the classroom. Right now, don't worry. I am writing here. In this place, I am writing here. Example I am giving you. Like this I am writing. Example. All of them are same or different? All of them same or different? They are all called different. They are all different. Even though same sound, they are all called different. Because they are all called having case sensitivity will be there. This is an answer is printing. This is what is called what? Rules for remembering. Rules for using what? Variables. Is today's topic is clear? Easy or difficult? How many rules? 5. First rule is what? Combination of alphabets, digits, special symbol, underscore. Must starts with what? Alphabet or underscore. Next is what? No special symbols are allowed within the variable name except what? Underscore. No keywords to be used as variable names. All variable names are what? Case sensitive. These rules you have to remember. Daily these rules will be coming in the class. I don't explain daily these rules and regulations. Once it is over, you have to read and you have to come to the class. Tomorrow my concept is what you know. Tomorrow's class my concept is what you know. Data types will start, which is one of the most important topic in Python. Hot for Python programming. This is a hot for Python programming. Very, very important topic. Today I said 6:10 I will start. Due to some power issue at the host level, I did not start. Start at 6:10. And one more thing I want to say seriously this point. Especially it is a phobia in Amirpet or in a students level, in students time. When Saturday, Friday started coming now, weekend days, and they are going on some places. I don't know where they will go. Underground action plans they will prepare. And don't go here and there, and then they will turn up on Monday. Some people will not come on Monday. They will come on Tuesday. And these days, if you don't attend, you are almost out of order. And you will do so for 1 year like that. After 1 year, all days are weekend only. So don't miss the classes. This is a very important conclusion. Tomorrow I am going to start data types. Binary number system, octal number system, hexadecimal, conversion in mathematics, conversion in programming. I am going to tell you. Okay, students, online students, is it clear today's classes? Right. So Dinesh is asking one question. What is that? EMP is equal to name is equal to 10 is equal to is allow or not. What is that double slash is going to be? What is that double slash is going to be? It is called one type of what? Invalid kind of thing. Let us take this type of thing. I am going to take it. He is writing like this. You see that error, my dear student. I am posting directly. Dinesh is asking, this is asking 2 to 3 times in the same window. I posted that. See that. Is it valid or invalid? Because I is using some symbols and all. What is this error? Syntax error. Right. So somebody is asking, Sammy is asking, please tell us what is literals again. Already explained. Already explained. It is not a tape recorder to keep again the same rewinding. Already explained or not? Yes, that's all. So if I do like that, 24 hours I will be in this place only. So again, student will join late, explain again. It is not possible. Once if I complete it, you have to listen that. You have to explain seriously and you have to listen it. Thank you, students. Tomorrow class, data types will start. Take care.